Yeah, hey, Captain Eric. This is Ted Johnson with Marketing for Guides. I want to thank you so much for letting me prepare this website analysis for you. Instead of doing, like a 30-page report that's kind of boring to go through and most people don't get through them anyway, in many cases, I'll develop a video that I record of me going through certain screens and just giving you my opinion on how things are laid out and where you're maybe falling short on your your internet footprint and that sort of thing. So anyway, I thought I'd do the same thing for you. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. My company is called Marketing for Guides. We work primarily with guides and charters and outfitters and lodges throughout North America and actually throughout the world. I've been doing this, for 7 years, something like that. Have a very strong marketing and IT background, which helps me in providing my clients with things that work. And then I'm an avid fisherman, man. I grew up on the McKenzie River in the state of Oregon. I fished there all my life and were in boats and running up and down that river fishing for salmon and steelhead. Even ran a boat in southeast Alaska for a couple seasons. So anyway, I understand your business. I understand not only the mechanics of the business itself, but then the day-to-day operations of what goes on. So anyway, let me go ahead and take you over to your website. I'm sure you're familiar with this. Google is sort of our nemesis out there in that they sort of write all the rules anymore on what is acceptable as a website in their eyes. And when they say acceptable, it's something that ranks high, and when people type in searches, their website is brought forth compared to others. And my guess is that you reached out to me because you probably don't get a whole lot of organic traffic. In fact, I know that through a report that I ran, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. And we're probably wondering how you can get more traffic and i.e. More bookings on your boat by making adjustments to your site and that sort of thing. Well, in the past, up until, 3 or 4 years ago, Google was all about these little tricks that people could do to their websites, and there was minimal effort being put into them and not a lot of content or context that they put into them, and in many cases they could rank. But anymore, Google really looks at the relevancy of a site based on how much relevant content there is, and then how long people will stay on that site and peruse the information that is there. Now, one of the things that Google has been increasing over the last couple of years is the number of words they want to see on particular pages. And on the home page, Google has not a requirement, but they look for home pages that have over 1,200 words of content on them. And that way they know someone has put in a lot of information about themselves and their business and that sort of thing that is relevant to somebody that might be searching for charter fishing in Florida or whatever the other searches that they may be doing. And with your site, if I look at it, this is the home page. I can't scroll down very far. I would venture to say that there's not more than about 50 words on the home page. And so it's real important, if you're looking to increase the volume to your website, would be to increase the amount of content that you have on your home page. Now, the other thing that Google looks for anymore is how mobile friendly a website is. And in this case, if I was to put this website, your website, on a mobile device, which it really is when I'm recording it here, I'm doing it on an iPad, it wouldn't be considered mobile friendly because of the size of the text and the lack of content and that sort of thing. And the reason that Google puts a whole lot of emphasis on that is that well over 80% of all internet searches are now done on mobile phones. And by doing searches now as a community on mobile phones, the internet has sort of trained us not to jump off of pages, not to explore sites very far, because we don't know how good our cell service is, we don't know how fast our internet service is, and so people make decisions based on what they see on the first page. Now, I congratulate you, you've got your telephone number there, which is good, and it shows a nice little illustration of catching it looks like a giant bluefin or tuna, and shows a picture of the boat and that sort of thing, so people can get there. They know what you do, but there's just not enough sales material there to engage someone. In the bottom right, of course, you have the Book Now trip, and it goes to Fair Harbor, which is their booking system, and I don't feel that you're giving people enough information to go to Fair Harbor and make a request. You probably get bookings that way, but I would think that if you place more information on the website, when people went to Fair Harbor, you'd get more bookings because they come in more informed. Now, if I look at the About the Captain, that'd be you, I get a paragraph of information there. In subpages like this, Google is looking for at least 300 words of content, and if I look at this, I'll bet we've got a couple hundred words here at the very most, but there's no pictures, there's no other things on the site itself that is making me want to interact at this point. I've got to do a whole lot of reading, and people don't tend to read a whole lot when they go to websites, although Google is looking for content. They're looking for photos, they're looking for things that read easy and that sort of thing, and lumping everything into this big paragraph is, in many people's eyes, it'd be a turnoff if they're looking at it there. If I go to rates, then you've got your rates typed out, and that's good that it's showing the rates there and that sort of thing. And again, you're using that same photo, I think, on here on the rates. I'd be having people with the grip and grin of holding up a big fish and a great big smile on their face and that sort of thing. That's what entices people when they come to your website. You've got a Contact Us page, and that then gives them the email address and that sort of thing of where you're at. Our location, last time I went to it, yeah, I'm getting the same thing. It doesn't come up, and so you're actually getting penalized for having a page like this on the internet. And then if you go to gallery, of course, you've got your photos, but the photos are sort of linked into some sort of other service. I forgot exactly who it was, but that's something that you need to change, and there's only one photo there. And so, again, we're not getting this kind of warm and fuzzy. Is there good reasons to call this guy to have him take me fishing? And so there's a lot of things there that need to be completed, but the other thing that Google now looks for is they look for interaction with other types of sites. And so I'm going to go to a report that we run, and it shows me how many organic keywords that your website ranks for, and 107 is on the low side. It should probably be in the 400 to 500 range, but organic keywords doesn't necessarily translate into traffic to your website. If you'll notice there, you've got 107 keywords that you rank for in the top 100, and you only have 2 visits to your website based on those organic keywords. Now, your domain score is pretty high compared to a lot of sites, and you've got a reasonable amount of backlinks and that sort of thing. But we need to dig into, and I'll do this here with you real quick, why you're not getting more traffic from all of those keywords. And so we got a chart down here that shows how many keywords you're getting in on a monthly basis. And here is the chart that actually gives us an idea of why you're not getting a whole lot of visits. If I click on this right bar over here, it brings up a chart that it says you have 0 keywords in the rank position of 1 to 3, and you've got 1 keyword in the position of 4 to 10. Those are the 2, the green and that yellow, indicator that that people will see you at. If you're not on that first page, and that first page only has 10 listings on it, outside of the ads and that sort of thing that we all see, then the people don't tend to go to the second page on a search. They'll go on and they'll miss you. And so even though you've got 47 keywords in the first 5 pages, second through the 5th page, and then another 37 in the 6th to the 10th, they're really not drawing any traffic. And so that's what translates down to that only 2 visits per month of people finding you on the internet are coming to the site and looking at your website. The other thing is you've done a little bit of posting in the last 12 months on Facebook. Not much. It looks like we've got 10 posts that had some interaction to them and that sort of thing. There should be a whole lot more than that, because Google looks at what are you doing as a business owner to promote your business. And then not only having more postings on Facebook, but then also linking that directly over to your website. If I looked at your website, there really is not a connection between the website and Facebook, and conversely, there's not much going on from Facebook to the website. And then if I come down here, and we've got a little ray of sunshine here, because this shows us that there may be some hope, and there may be some low-hanging fruit that can be adjusted in your web presence to get more traffic, i.e. get more bookings coming your way. These are search terms, and I'm not going to read through each and every one of them, but in the upper left-hand corner, right under where it says SEO keywords, you see where it says charter fishing, Vero Beach. Well, there's a volume, an average amount of people that go to that search term is 320. Now, that doesn't happen every month, and I know by doing a lot of business with people in your area that this is the time of year when things are kind of slowed down a little bit, and you may only get 200 visits. But come February, you may get 500 visits, or 500 people searching for that. So anyway, that's why when there's a 12-month running average of 320, you're in the 11th position. Now, the 11th position means that you're on the first position on the second page. You're kind of on a cliff of getting into that first page. And so you have an estimated visitors of 1 person per month that comes from that link. If you were to put some emphasis on your website and focus the content on charter fishing Vero Beach, there's a good chance that you could move that from position number 11 to maybe position number 7 or 8 in a reasonable amount of time. Now, a reasonable amount of time, maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I'll kind of stop right there. I don't sell snake oil. We all get those phone calls. Even I, as a developer, gets phone calls from those out of the U.S. groups and even inside groups, that are promising to put you on the first page of Google in 2 days, and then you're going to have trouble counting all the money you're making off your website. That doesn't exist. It used to. I mean, there used to be some tricks that Google let you do years ago, but not anymore. And so it's a system. It's a progression on a website, and the maintaining of it will get you there. But if you took that position of 11 and got it into the top 3, you would increase the number of visits to your website to probably close to 80 visits per month instead of the 1 that you have. And again, you're right on that cusp of making this search term very relevant and having it send you more business, and as you work on it, it will increase as you go further up in that page. Now, if I look at charter fishing Sebastian, Florida, and that's with Florida not spelled out, you've got 170 people that search for that on an average each and every month. You're in position number 15, and so that's in the middle of the second page. And by being in that position, you're really not getting any visitors. Maybe every once in a while, maybe every 6 months, may get somebody that visits you from there. But the estimated visits that you get are 0. but that's on the second page too. So you've got that one, you've got fishing charters, Sebastian, Florida spelled out. If I go down here to the bottom, Blue Marlin, Vero Beach, Florida, you're in the 16th position. Now there's only 10 people that will search for that on any given month, but hey, those 10 people, there's probably 2 or 3 of them, if they're searching for that, will want to go out on a charter. So, as I mentioned, that's sort of the light at the end of the tunnel here, is that you've got work to do on your website, but the work that you do on your website, there is some low-hanging fruit that you could start picking up more and more traffic, i.e. more and more bookings directly off of your site, if you made the adjustments that I was talking to you about. Now, the other thing is I did a Google search, and I did a Google search, I'll show you here at the top. I did it for Vero Beach fishing charters, because that's where you're from. And when we do a search like that, it shows the ads at the top. These are people paying to be there. And then it shows here the Google map, and it shows 3 individual companies that Google feels is relevant to a fishing charter at Vero Beach. Now we've got Vero Beach fishing charters, whoever that is. We got Down Sea charters. We got On Island Time charters. But I want you to look at the number of reviews that those companies have. The first one up there has 5. Down Sea charters, they're doing pretty good. They got 31 reviews and a 4.7 average, which is good. And then Island Time charters has 6. But you're wondering, and I was too, where are you? I'm going to hit this More Places button. And now I'm going to start scrolling down, and there's obviously a ton of charters around your part of the world. But if I scoot on down a little bit, where are you here? There we go, Skipper Sports Fishing Charters. And I'm going to click on that, and it brings up your Google business listing. Now, your Google business listing is really important to Google. They want to see you using their tools. And so they give you extra kudos, meaning better rankings on your website, if you link your website to Google Business, if you link your website to YouTube, because most people don't know, but Google owns YouTube, and they give you kudos for that also. And so even though this is set up a little bit and you've got some photos in here and that sort of thing, it's really not set up right. There's other ways, things that you can be doing, adding more photos, adding more posts that would then generate a lot more traffic coming into Google Business, which in turn, if you did that, then Google would consider putting you in that top 3 listings when that map came up. And again, that's some low-hanging fruit. If you could get 15 or 20 reviews, and you could do some postings and add some more photos, which all of these things are free. There's no cost to Google to pay for all this. Then you would start moving up in those rankings, and with 2 of the top 3 in that map listing having less than 10 reviews, I mean, again, that wouldn't be hard to get 10 reviews. If you got 10 or 20 of them over, again, a period of time, Google would start giving you more love and attention with better rankings and that sort of thing. I'm going to hit the review button here, and I just wanted to highlight again that you really don't have any reviews per se, which in Google's eyes is not a good thing. You really need to get a review system set up. So anyway, this sort of concludes my website analysis for you. I'm going to take about a minute, and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. Like I mentioned, have been in business for a number of years. We've got well over 150 clients where we have done websites for them and helped them gain better traction when it comes to website rankings and helping them grow their business. I always have this, a heart-to-heart, discussion with them that this isn't an overnight thing. It does take time, because Google doesn't allow sites to jump to the top like they used to. You have to sort of work your way up. And so if you're looking for someone that can be on your team, that cannot just do a website and go, here, Eric, here it is, I hope it works for you, but do a website and then work with you over a period of a year, adding more things to the site, updating it, helping you understand where, where maybe you're lacking on doing some things and that sort of thing, coaching you along on that progress, or even relying on us to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I think we could make a big difference in your site in the years to come. And so, anyway, if you're looking for that type of help, I think you'd find us very, very affordable for what we do, and two, that we do have a very good track record of getting people ranked and ranked properly. So anyway, thanks again for your time. I hope we talk soon. Thanks again, Eric.